here. What's up, beautiful people? It's your boy Joshua Martin.
I'm looking at the screen.
Okay, take two. What's up, beautiful people? It's your boy Joshua Martin.
Hola mi gente, it's your girl Evie.
So a few days ago, actually, I posted out a image on my Instagram wanting to know if you guys are interested in seeing a rig of the Fujifilm camera that we use. We use the X-H1. And here we are today. I have my wife here with me. It's been a while since we've actually been in a video together, and we're going to she's going to actually start building this, and I'm kind of walk her through. It's a very simple setup, and there's nothing really complicated. Man, all this is like uneven. It's not really complicated. We got some things like a monitor, Mattebox, follow focus, some rails, very inexpensive stuff. We do plan on upgrading to the XT3 eventually. Well, we'll get into that a little bit later. So let's just kind of
let's just focus on what we got now.
Yeah, let's just start. First thing, obviously, you want to have some tools. We have the Smallrig multi-purpose tool. It's actually really great. So I guess we can just talk about what are some of the things we have with this. So let's kind of just run through. Do you know what this is?
I learned it. It's a follow focus.
It's a follow focus. The Tilta follow focus mini, or however you want to call it. Then we have the
Ninja V.
Yeah.
Monitor.
And so this combo with the X-H1 doesn't really take full advantage of the Ninja V. The XT3 would, because you can have an external output of 422 10-bit. This doesn't output 422 10-bit, but it's still record. You can still record ProRes with this camera. And then we have the Angelbird 1 terabyte SSD mini. Fantastic media, super reliable. That's about that. And then we have some Smallrig parts attached to it to make it a little more robust, sturdy, safer. This is a bottom plate. I don't know the actual
Or base plate, you can call it.
You could call it, yeah, you could call it base plate. But this is what we're gonna use for the rail system and putting the follow focus on the stuff. Your normal Manfrotto plate. Yeah, plate. The camera X-H1. We have the SLR Magic 25 MicroPrime for Fuji X mount, and we've it's probably one of our favorite lenses to use on this system. I think the two rails.
Oh,
rails. You can say the same thing. These are like, I think 6-inch, right? This little guy, this thing is awesome. This is the tilt swivel monitor mount. I wish they had a NATO rail option, but this is just a regular screw-on 1/4-20 and
the Mattebox from Tilta.
So let's get to it. The first thing you need to actually do, grab that pink bag. We have a lot of
I need to learn how to do this because eventually when I'm on my own doing stuff, I want to start using more Fuji camera for video and film. So this is a good time for me to practice.
Exactly. So now
expose myself on my failures.
That's how you learn, right? Yeah, so everybody has a bunch of these. You collect these over the years. Yeah. Especially if you're buying stuff from Smallrig, you'll always get a lot of Allen wrenches and a lot of the screws. So you want to find a screw that would fit this guy in here to go at the bottom.
Which one?
Let's use this guy. So one of the reasons why we actually picked up this camera is we needed a stills camera for one. And we did have the XT1. That was your camera. Yeah, but
that was mainly more. It was it was only pretty much good for.
And I used the video features in it for a few B-roll shots. Yeah. The 1080p video is great if you kind of learn how to manipulate the picture profile. But this is a little bit more robust in terms of the codec that's in it compared to that, and the image sensor is great. I really love the body of this though.
Yeah, it's nice. If all the X lines were just like this, that would be nice. Even though I guess it's just as well because since I have small hands, it's still easier for me to hold whatever the X cameras that don't have this bulky for the hand grip. But yeah, no, I would definitely agree. I think it would definitely be nice. Oops, sorry, to have more of a sturdy feel to gripping the camera. Like you're hugging it.
No, it feels awesome. So. And I like the display screen up here.
Yeah, I wish all of them had that too.
Yeah. Hopefully this series doesn't go away because now the XT4 is out. I don't know if they're gonna do an XH2. If they did, they should make a full frame. That would a full frame Fuji Yes.
But that'll probably be super expensive.
I was still able to get it. I really like Fuji.
Because isn't the I was gonna say the GFX is not a full frame.
It's medium format, so it's bigger than full frame. All right, so I'm doing too much for you, so you can start pulling out that tool, find the right. Just put this over here.
Under like this.
So you want to point these where the lens is going to go. So since the rails are going forward, you want to put this forward, just like that. So you want to find that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about something else. Sorry.
Oops. You can just drop it in first. So there's two 1/4-20s and a 3/8. I think that's what a 3/8 is. Anyway, it'll be ideal to have a 1/4-20 and a 3/8 so to make it more secure. Let's put the plate on, so you can do that next. And
wait,
switch the
so
tool.
this would go in the big one?
No, this is gonna go here.
The small one.
Yep.
Okay. Does it matter where exactly the nail is? This thing, or like if it's
maybe just a tad bit further, just because the lens is gonna be a little bit heavier.
Okay.
So another thing we liked about the X-H1 when we're purchasing another Fuji camera, you keep going all the way down. Well, one thing I liked is the I wanted to test out how F-Log is, because F-Log is their flat profile.
Is their flat profile, yeah.
And F-Log and then Eterna.
That's a simulator.
Stimulator. Oh boy! One thing that this also had was the image stabilization. This was the first Fujifilm to have image stabilization camera, and it's okay. Here, I'll let you do the next bit.
I think you're just so used to doing this stuff rigs, rather than me, so I kind of get it. But yeah, let me do the work.
Yeah, the image stabilization is pretty. It doesn't always help. Sometimes I feel like it jars or it tries to catch up when you're moving. But if you're kind of staying steady, it's okay. But most of the time, it's not the greatest. So we normally have it off. And we'll kind of show you.
Well, I technically would need it more because I'm still not very good when it comes to holding camera and like kind of doing the soft movements. You say that,
but we did a video together and you did pretty good. Like, she did really good, and she keeps saying, "Oh, I don't like the shots." I'm like, "You have way better steady shots than I did, and I had a heavier rig."
Still,
so,
but I would typically normally use it. But I think the one thing that I just don't like is you have to constantly be changing the what's it called?
So with image stabilization, it's the same thing in the GH5. You have to tell the camera,
and because it's manual, right?
Yeah,
is that why?
You have to tell the camera, especially for manual lenses, what kind of lens you're using, so it can do the compensation for it.
Because if you don't, that thing looks
terrible. Yeah. So sometimes if we had a wider angle lens on it, and we set it to 18 mil, but then we put like a 35 on it, it would be terrible.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's the one downfall I just don't like about this camera is that it just doesn't automatically do it. But of course, it's also because of the manual lenses. But I just can't stand that. Every time I go back, I'm like, crap, I forgot.
Yeah, same. One feature they could introduce, because with the GH5, every time you turned on the camera and it recognizes it's a manual lens,
I did like that because it did it for you rather than like, oh crap, I need to remember this. It didn't do it for you,
but it asked you, hey, is this do you want to set your stabilization for the lens?
Well, that's kind of what I mean. It does it for you to remind you and be like, is this the lens that you currently have on? If not, go ahead and change it.
Yeah, because as soon as you switch it out, you don't remember, and then you're using a different lens that doesn't have the stabilization. That's made for the stabilization. Okay, the next thing you want to do is put the rails on.
Here, let's set this over here.
Turn that down.
How far do I put them in?
Go up until the cap.
It lines up.
Yeah, and then tighten it in. So we've used this on 2 projects, on one music video and a real estate video, and I used it, and we both used it in conjunction with the Blackmagic Pocket. One thing I like about Fuji colors. Well, I love Fuji colors. You love Fuji colors too. In general,
they're just great.
You can actually get it to a point where they both match well in terms of color. Now, in terms of codec, you can really see the difference, and we can throw up some of the music videos that we shot.
Throw up?
Yeah, throw it up on the screen. That's what I mean.
I was thinking about the other thing, throw up. Like, bleh, throw it up.
And we'll put up some examples of what the Blackmagic Pocket and this X-H1 looks like when pairing it together. But the biggest difference obviously is the codec, because this does break down in low light. You can see the pixelation, the blocking because of the 8-bit when you're really trying to push it. But on a good day, you can get some really gorgeous imagery out of this.
Yep.
So kudos to them. All right, let's add the follow focus. Let me make sure that's tight.
Then you should remember.
Okay, you want to do this?
Sure.
Okay, so keep on unscrewing that.
What's all this blue stuff?
It's like a sealant.
Yeah. Oh, okay, to keep it smooth.
Yeah. Okay, and then pop that on.
Where?
So it just fits right into there.
This?
Yeah. It's like connecting. There
you go. I'm like, where did it go?
And then screw that back in, and then tighten it with this guy. If you guys also want to watch my smaller rig build, I will link it in the description and as well as a card. Before you tighten the top one, tighten the bottom. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So get it nice and aligned where you need it to, where it feels good.
Where it like kind of clicks then, right?
Yeah, and I'll just you hold that and I'll tighten it. And then now you tighten that part. Yep. There you go. Yep.
All right, so far we have the follow focus on the lens, the, what's this called again?
Base plate.
Base plate. And
tripod
then
plate.
Tripod base plate. And yeah.
So now what's great, you have a little more balance. Even though you still have your hand here, you can still.
It is a nice balance.
Yeah, it's a better balance now that you can get more steady shots. Still gotta take your time.
Yeah.
But
it's good. All right, yeah. Monitor.
So, one standout thing, obviously we didn't say yet, we don't have a full cage on this.
Oh yeah.
Smallrig doesn't offer just the cage itself. They have a full cage with the battery grip, and we don't use the battery grip. Battery life on here does suck. It's not the greatest, so I have 2 or 3 batteries, but this is really just a nice basic thing. You can just look at that. That's just really just awesome. You just pop on the tripod, take off the tripod, and you just keep going. And yeah.
Be on your way.
Another thing I wish they did, maybe in the next version of this, is if you switch from photo to video, that is save the video settings and not just keep the same settings from your photo when you get to video.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be nice.
It'd be nice if it was. Would you like something that to be like on the screen, or like an actual like dial or button here?
What, for switching the video to photo?
Yeah.
Yeah, right now it's this little.
I don't like that because sometimes you can. Well, I don't
if it's,
that.
Yeah, if this is not locked.
Yeah, you can move it.
Then this moves. Yeah, if they had a dedicated button or switch to say the video. Why is this?
Or like like this dial here that you use for like the focus. If it was like this too.
Yeah.
Decent.
So let's put on the Mattebox and then the monitor last, because we gotta figure out how to balance all of that together. This is the Tilta Mattebox. I did a review on this too, and I was using the adapters for these lenses for the MicroPrimes, but you can actually just slide the Mattebox directly to the lens. So you go ahead and just tighten it down and make sure it's aligned. Push it back.
All the way
push it back right about there. Yeah, and it fits perfectly fine. Is it straight? You just kind of just look down the barrel. It's probably easier to look at it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bang. And we can just take this off for now because we don't need the flag. And then let's add the monitor. So just pop that on there.
Does it matter which way it's facing?
No. Here, you can use this to tighten it. So just pop it in there and then, yeah. No.
Wait, where?
He started it. Sorry, I didn't explain.
Yeah, you just said pop it in there and start turning. I'm like, okay, I'll start turning.
In my mind, I thought, you can use that as leverage to tighten. Because if you rotate this, okay, here, that was
He
hilarious.
legit said, put it in and start turning. I'm like, okay, so I put it in. All right.
This is gonna be offset. That's kind of annoying, but you just pop it on there. Yeah.
Oh, and one of these?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. There you go. You hear all that grinding, and then do the same thing. Yeah, that's fine. And then turn. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. And then bang. And then of course you would put your HDMI cable and whatnot. But
yep.
There it is.
Guys, this is the full setup X-H1 rigged out to its fullest of what we have.
Yeah, what we got. This is
so monitor, follow focus, Mattebox, lens, the baseplate, and a tripod baseplate.
Yep.
Voila!
Bang. Now it does feel weird having this straight up. Feel that? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely feel it.
But you wouldn't be filming like that, right?
No.
You would probably be filming like that. Now how's that feel?
A little bit less, but
yeah,
I can still feel it up top.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. Like if you had a Shinobi, because you don't, like I said, you don't necessarily need this recorder with this camera because this camera can output a higher quality than what it does. So once you have, and plus if we had like a dummy, because this battery makes it heavy anyway, like all this makes it a little bit more heavier.
Yeah, that's what.
So if you just had like a small battery source and then you had like a dummy battery coming out of it, then you can easily do that.
How do you?
You about to rip the battery out. This little.
Oh, you push down. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna see if there was a difference without the battery.
There'd probably be a difference.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Yeah, but for the most part, you can pretty stay steady.
I would still suck at that.
Okay, so it goes in. It doesn't go in straight
Sliding?
like that. So it comes in almost halfway,
Okay.
and then it slides down.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is.
There's the beauty.
I mean, it looks good. Is it functional? Yeah, it is.
It's functional for me.
Functional for you, yeah.
So.
And then we've got to see how we're going to build the XT3. That's going to be a little bit weirder because it's lighter for one.
Which is my favorite.
And it doesn't have a bigger grip. So we're going to probably have to get the cage and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. If you guys have any questions, let us know. We got to get a thumbnail.
Move everything. Throw it all out.
Clear it out.